Scrolling, swiping, liking, sharing. Ito ang normal routine ng millions of TikTok users every day. Mapabata, estudyante, working, or kahit professionals, halos lahat tayo ay dumadaan dito. Pero, have you noticed na hindi na lang puro sayaw, comedy, or memes ang nasa feed natin? Little by little, science started entering TikTok. And now, it even has its own space, the STEM feature. So, ano ba tong TikTok STEM tab? Basically, it's a created section in the app dedicated only for science-related content. Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Parang isang mini science hub siya within TikTok mismo. Here, you'll find videos about scientific discoveries, engineering hacks, medical facts, at kung ano-ano pang knowledge na pwedeng i-share. On one hand, this is exciting. Imagine, dati para matulog ka ng ganito, you need to read long books, attend lectures, or browse YouTube na mahahaba ang videos. Pero with TikTok, isang swipe lang, may short explainer ka na about the solar system, chemical reactions, or kahit latest tech innovations. Kahit yung mga bata or those who don't usually enjoy science, napapadali ang access. And let's be honest, science can sometimes feel intimidating. Minsan, mahirap siya i-approach kasi parang ang daming formulas, ang daming terms. Pero TikTok Science breaks it down. Short, bite-sized, and engaging. The goal is to spark curiosity, to make science feel less scary and more fun. Pero, here comes the concern. TikTok is fast-paced. Ang videos, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, minsan 1 to 3 minutes lang. And science is not always that simple. Some concepts need long explanation, context, and accuracy. The problem? Not every content creator on TikTok is an expert. Pwedeng kulang ang context, pwedeng oversimplified, or worse, mali talaga ang info. Let's say, may nag-post ng life hack about medicine or about engineering safety tips. Kung mali ang content, madali ring kumalat. Kasi TikTok is designed for virality. The catchier it is, the faster it spreads. So, in just one night, millions might believe something that isn't fully accurate. This is why it's important to talk about this. TikTok STEM is powerful. It democratizes access to science. It gives everyone a chance to learn, kahit wala sa classroom, kahit on the go lang. But at the same time, it carries the risk of misinformation. Now, let's connect this to the bigger picture. Science and technology in society. Science and technology are not just abstract ideas. They shape the way we live. From the phones we hold, to the medicines we take, to the bridges and buildings we use every day. Lahat yan ay produkto ng science and technology. TikTok, as part of modern technology, is now becoming a medium where science is communicated. Pero, ano ang effect nito sa society? For students, lalo na yung nasa STEM fact like engineering and medical fields, TikTok can actually be a quick supplement to learning. It makes complex ideas more approachable. Nakakatulong siya sa review, sa pag-visualize ng concepts, at minsan, it even inspires students to pursue deeper research. In this sense, TikTok is a positive tool, a bridge between formal education and everyday learning. On the other hand, may danger din siya. Kapag maling information ang na-share, it doesn't just stay online. It can influence decisions in real life. Halimbawa, kung may nag-share ng medical hack na mali, baka may taong sumunod at malagay sa danger. Kung may nag-share ng engineering experiment na hindi safe, baka gayahin at magdulot ng aksidente. So, the impact of TikTok science is not just virtual. It has real consequences for society. That's why this topic matters. Because in today's world, where social media and science are merging, we have to ask ourselves, are we getting informed or are we being misled? And that's the big question we're trying to answer in this documentary. TikTok science, informative or misleading?
Informative side. Now, let's start with the positive side of TikTok science. When done right, TikTok STEM can actually be a powerful tool for learning. Short videos may seem simple, pero sa tamang pagkakagawa, they can make complex STEM concepts easier to understand. Imagine a chemistry experiment explained in 30 seconds or a physics law demonstrated using a real-life example, suddenly, something that felt intimidating in the classroom becomes more relatable. TikTok Science uses visuals, creativity, and entertainment to spark interest. Science is not just about numbers and formulas. It's about discovery, curiosity, and application. And TikTok has the power to show that in a way that books sometimes cannot. For students, lalo na yung nasa path ng engineering, medical, and science-related fields, TikTok STEM can serve as a stepping stone. Minsan, yung isang videos ang nagiging inspirasyon para mag-research pa ng mas malalim. It helps learners see that science isn't only for professionals. It's something you can engage with daily, kahit nasa bahay ka lang, kahit short break lang sa klase. And on a bigger scale, this is how science and technology connects to society. Social media platforms like TikTok are now changing the way knowledge spreads. Before, knowledge was limited to classrooms or libraries. Today, anyone with a phone and internet can access ideas from around the world. This democratizes science. It becomes accessible to everyone, not just scholars or students in big universities. So in this sense, TikTok STEM can create a more informed society. A society where young people are exposed to STEM early, where curiosity is encouraged, and where science feels part of everyday life. But let's also look at the other side, the misleading side. Not all TikTok science videos are accurate. And this is where the challenge begins. Because TikTok videos are short, creators sometimes oversimplify concepts. Important details are left out. And sometimes, to make it more entertaining or viral, creators exaggerate or even give wrong information. Ang masama pa, kahit sino pwede gumawa ng science content, even without proper training or background. This creates a huge risk. Misinformation. Sa sobrang bilis kumalat ng videos, millions can see wrong explanations in just few hours. For example, a misleading medical life hack might encourage people to try unsafe practices. An inaccurate engineering experiment might inspire others to copy it, leading to accidents. Science and technology shape the way society functions. Pero kung mali ang pagkakaintindi natin, it can lead to poor decisions, unsafe practices, or even loss of trust in real experts. Imagine a generation learning science from inaccurate sources. The long-term effect on education and society can be dangerous. This is why TikTok science is a double-edged sword. On one side, it opens the door for more accessible and engaging learning. On the other, it risks spreading half-truths and misinformation. And since science has a direct impact on real life, from medicine to engineering to daily decisions, society must be careful on how it consumes knowledge from platforms like TikTok.
All of this show na ang TikTok science ay nasa isang very delicate space. Isang space kung saan nagmi-meet ang curiosity, creativity, and entertainment. Pero dapat nandun pa rin yung accuracy and responsibility. And habang mas lumalalim tayo sa effects nito, mas nakikita natin na marami pang layers sa usaping ito. Isa pang malaking factor ay ang algorithm ng TikTok. Dahil sa recommendation system nito, kung may napanood kang isang science video, whether accurate or misleading, magpapakita siya ng more similar content. Helpful siya kapag reliable yung videos, pero kapag yung unang napanood mo ay kulang sa context or mali talaga, mabilis kang mahahatak sa sunod-sunod na videos na may parehong problema. In just few minutes, parang ang dali nang maniwala na tama yung info just because inuulit-ulit ni TikTok. And for younger audiences, lalo na yung mga nasa early high school or mga bagong pasok sa STEM, this can easily shape how they understand science. Minsan, the more you see something, the more true it feels kahit hindi naman talaga. Dito pumapasok yung importance ng responsible content creation. Hindi lahat ng gumagawa ng TikTok videos ay trained sa science. Hindi lahat marunong mag-explain ng tama. Pero at the same time, ang dami ring legit professionals. Engineers, med students, scientists, and educators na nagbibigay ng accurate and inspiring STEM content. In many ways, TikTok is bringing science closer to students. Para na siyang learning platform na mas fun, mas visual, and mas accessible kaysa sa traditional methods. Pero syempre, kasabay ng accessibility ay yung challenge. Paano natin masisiguro na ang kumakalat na impormasyon ay hindi lang interesting, kundi tama rin? Kasi sa fast-paced world ng TikTok, minsan nauuna ang catchy kaysa correct. At kung ano ang catchy, yun ang kumakalat. Kaya as we move forward, gusto naming alamin kung paano ba ito tinatanggap ng society. How do students interpret the science videos they see? Pinapaniwalaan ba agad? Bine-verify ba? Nakaka-inspire ba ito? O nakakalito? These are the questions we're hoping to answer as we move to the next part of our documentary, exploring perspectives, examining survey responses, and understanding what TikTok science truly means in today's world. After collecting and reviewing all 230 responses from our Google Form survey, we now have a clearer and deeper understanding of how students from our engineering school perceive TikTok science, kung nakakatulong ba talaga siya, or if it poses certain risks. These results give us a balanced picture of how TikTok functions, not just an entertainment platform, but also as an informal learning space. Let's start with how students actually use TikTok. Most respondents strongly agreed that they frequently watch different kinds of content on the app. This tells us that TikTok isn't just a passing trend for students, it's a daily habit. Dahil everyday na siya ginagamit, the chances of encountering science or STEM content become much higher, even if students aren't always searching for it. It means TikTok naturally exposes its users to educational content whether they intend it or not. When we ask about science-related videos specifically, many respondents agreed that they often encounter STEM content on their feed. Some were neutral, but only a small number disagreed. This suggests that TikTok algorithm pushes a wide range of topics, and science is definitely part of that mix. Nakadepende rin ito sa kung ano ang pinapanood ng students, pero overall, STEM content is visible and easy to find. Awareness of TikTok's STEM feature was also higher than expected. Maraming students ang nagsabi na they are aware of this dedicated STEM section. This shows that TikTok's effort to highlight educational videos is actually working. This feature isn't hidden or ignored. Students are noticing it and, in many cases, using it. Now, let's move to the positive impacts. One of the strongest themes we found is that TikTok STEM makes science feel more accessible. A big portion of students agreed that the platform simplifies complex concepts and presents them in a way that is easier to understand. Yung mga lessons na minsan nakakabigla pag nasa classroom, mas nagiging light, visual, and relatable. It's interesting to see that many respondents also said TikTok sparks their curiosity. They find science more interesting because of how creative the presentations are. Another strong finding is that students appreciate how TikTok introduces them to topics they don't encounter in class. For many, TikTok becomes a fun gateway to new knowledge, like quick physics demos, chemistry tips, or engineering tricks na hindi na pag-uusapan sa regular lectures. Marami ring naniniwala na TikTok can support classroom learning, not as the main source of knowledge, pero as a helpful supplement. Parang dagdag tulong kapag kailangan ng mabilis at visual explanation. Alongside these benefits, lumabas din yung mga concerns, which form the other half of the picture. A big number of students believe that many TikTok science videos are oversimplified, because creators only have seconds to explain a concept. Important details often get removed. And when science is oversimplified, there's a chance that people might end up misunderstanding the topic. This becomes more worrying when we consider how fast misinformation spreads. Many respondents strongly agreed that misleading content can go viral in just few hours. Isang mali lang na explanation, pwedeng agad-agad makita ng thousands or even millions. Another concern that students pointed out is accuracy. Some respondents shared that certain TikTok science videos can be misleading or incomplete. For students in engineering, this is especially important because accuracy matters a lot. Kahit maliit na error sa explanation, pwedeng mag-create ng confusion, lalo na sa mga viewers na umaasa lang sa TikTok for quick learning. When it comes to verification, mixed results came out. Some students said they check other sources after watching science content, but a big portion answered neutral. which suggests that many viewers don't double-check what they see. This can be risky, especially if students quickly accept information just because it looks visually convincing. Interestingly, respondents agreed almost unanimously that creator credibility is a major factor. They trust science content more if it comes from someone knowledgeable, like certified professionals, educators, or science communicators. Students also acknowledge that TikTok is not as reliable as traditional sources such as books, journals, or teachers. This shows na kahit popular ang TikTok, students still recognize that formal education remains the most trustworthy. We also asked whether TikTok could improve as a learning space. Many respondents agreed that the platform can be better if experts create more content. People want real scientists, engineers, and educators to upload factual, high-quality videos. Almost everyone agreed that science content should always be fact-checked before being shared. This highlights the students' awareness that viral trends should not overpower scientific accuracy. Finally, we look at the overall perception of TikTok science. Across the board, students believe that TikTok has more positive effects than negative ones, pero only if used responsibly. Many students said TikTok can be a reliable learning as long as viewers combine curiosity with critical thinking. A lot of them also agreed that TikTok science is more informative than misleading. And almost everyone recognized that platforms like TikTok are changing the way science is learned today. Learning is becoming more visual, more interactive, and more accessible to anyone with a phone. In summary, our survey shows a balanced understanding among students. TikTok science has the power to educate, inspire, and simplify complex ideas, but it also carries risks: oversimplification, misinformation, and lack of verification. Students see its potential, but they also acknowledge its limitations. Ultimately, TikTok becomes a useful educational tool only when users stay critical, creators stay responsible, and information is always fact-checked. These results highlights how social media is shaping modern science education, sometimes positively, sometimes with challenges, but always with an impact that is impossible to ignore. So, as we reach the final part ng documentary natin, one thing is very clear. TikTok science is not just a trend. It's a reflection of how learning and curiosity are evolving in today's digital world. Dati, para matuto ka ng science, kailangan mo pumunta sa classroom, magbasa ng textbooks, o manood ng mahahabang video sa YouTube. Pero ngayon, sa isang swipe lang, maaari kang makakita ng experiment, explanation, o hack na pwedeng magpaliwanag ng complicated STEM concepts sa loob ng 30 seconds. That's the beauty of it. Instant access, instant curiosity. Pero syempre, hindi lahat ng mabilis ay tama. Ang TikTok ay may power to educate, pero may equal power din itong mag-mislead. Dahil short videos lang, minsan kulang ang explanation or oversimplified ang content para mas maging catchy. At kung hindi tamang information, mabilis itong kumakalat. Imagine, isang viral video lang, hundreds of thousands of students can believe something na hindi naman accurate. Kaya habang exciting ang platform, importante din na maging critical tayo bilang viewers. Kung titingnan natin sa perspective ng students, TikTok science offers inspiration. Madami sa mga students ang nagsabi na nakakakita sila ng experiments or concepts sa TikTok na hindi nila natututunan sa classroom. Minsan, yung isang simpleng video ang nagiging spark para mag-research pa ng mas malalim. Or kahit subukan sa sarili nilang experiments safely. Ibig sabihin, TikTok is not just entertainment. It can be a stepping stone sa deeper learning. Pero hindi lang students ang affected. Lahat ng gumagamit ng TikTok, kahit hindi STEM, nakaka-engage sa science content. This shows na science is becoming part of our everyday culture. Social media is no longer just for memes and challenges. It's slowly becoming a medium to share knowledge. At with this, responsibility comes in both directions, creators and viewers. Creators must ensure accuracy, clarity, and context, while viewers must verify, question, and think critically bago maniwala agad. Another important point is algorithm. TikTok recommends videos based on what you watch. Kung makakita ka ng one science video, mas maraming related videos ang lalabas. This is good if the content is accurate, pero delikado kapag mali. Dahil paulit-ulit ang videos, Mas naniniwala ka sa information kahit hindi verified. Especially for younger students or beginners in STEM, this can shape how they understand science. Kaya critical thinking is not optional, it's essential. We also need to consider the impact sa society. TikTok science doesn't just stay online. If a misleading medical tip or unsafe engineering hack spreads, maaaring may real-life consequences. But on the positive side, it can democratize knowledge. Science doesn't have to stay in big universities or labs. Kahit sino with a phone and internet can learn, explore, and be curious. This opened doors para sa students na hindi palaging exposed sa formal education, and it encourages a culture of lifelong learning.
At isa pang point, TikTok science is changing the perception ng science itself. Previously, science was intimidating, full of formulas, technical terms, and abstract concepts. Pero ngayon, because of creative visuals, demonstrations, and fun presentations, science feels more approachable. Students feel empowered to engage with it daily. They see that science is not just for professionals, it's for everyone. Hindi rin natin pwedeng i-ignore ang danger ng misinformation. Oversimplification, missing context, or exaggeration can lead to misunderstanding. But interestingly, our survey shows na students are aware of this. They know that credibility matters. Certified professionals, educators, and science communicators gain more trust. Students still rely on traditional sources for core knowledge, textbook, teachers, or journals. Pero TikTok can complement these sources as long as viewers approach it critically.
Looking forward, the bigger lesson here is about learning in the digital age. Science is no longer confined to classrooms. Knowledge can be everywhere, anytime, at your fingertips. Platforms like TikTok show us that education can be visual, interactive, and accessible. But accessibility also demands responsibility, verification, and critical thinking. Hindi sapat na makapanood lang. Kailangan din maintindihan, suriin, at i-apply ng tama ang natututunan. And for students in STEM fields, this is particularly important. TikTok can be a supplement, but it cannot replace deep study, practice, and hands-on experience. The key is balance, curiosity, critical thinking, and guidance from credible sources. That combination ensures that the learning experience is meaningful and accurate. Sa huli, TikTok science is not fully informative nor entirely misleading. It exists in a delicate space where curiosity, creativity, and technology meet. Ang value nito lies not just sa knowledge na naibabahagi, but also sa inspiration na naibibigay sa viewers. It teaches us na learning is active, dynamic, and continuous. It encourages us to question, explore, and discover, and most importantly, to value accuracy alongside engagement. So, the final question is clear. In this age of rapid information and social media, will we just scroll and consume, or will we truly engage and learn? TikTok science gives us the tools, the spark, and the opportunity. It's up to us to use them wisely, critically, and responsibly. Because in the end, the way we interact with information today will shape not only our knowledge, but our understanding of the world and the way we make decisions in the future. TikTok science reminds us that learning is everywhere. Curiosity is contagious, and knowledge is powerful, but only if you handle it with care, thoughtfulness, and responsibility. This is the challenge and the opportunity of our generation.